Well, good morning, everyone. It's August 5th, and another quick pan around here of the campsite that we stayed in last night. Nice and shady, nice and quiet. Nice campsite. There's a water source, as I said before, not too far away, so it was a great place to spend the night. Yesterday, because we got on the trail late, we only hiked about 5 miles, so but despite that, as I was saying earlier, 10 days off trail really affected our conditioning. We are both pretty darn sore this morning. So part of that was because we started out with pretty heavy packs, but the trail really wasn't that tough. And normally, 2 weeks ago, we would have done that no problem at all and felt fine the next morning. But it's definitely a morning to take some ibuprofen before we hit the trail today. And speaking of the trail today, because the Oregon trails so far have seemed to be relatively smooth and not a lot of ups and downs, we're really hoping we can do some decent miles today. But the sun's out, it's hot, so we'll have to factor that in as well. So cross fingers, hope for a good day. Okay, we are back on the trail. And I was initially kind of excited that I figured between last night's dinner and this morning's breakfast, I'd eaten about 2 pounds of food out of my pack, which should make it an easier carry today. And then Goldilocks checked a gut hook and saw that it's 11.5 miles to the next water source. So I'm carrying an extra 5 pounds of water. Yay! My pack's even heavier than yesterday. But the trail does look like it's going to be relatively easy, so hopefully that won't hurt us too much. So, okay, here we are at the trail register, Hobart Bluff, straight ahead, but also the PCT. Is it empty?
It's empty.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, for Christ's sake!
There's pencils, but that's it.
I was going to film you filling out the first trail register since Kennedy Meadows, but
No.
what jerk removed the trail register? Oh, well. Okay. Well, let's start hiking up Hobart Bluff and also the PCT. So we're still on the right trail. Well, stopping for our first snack break. Bag of walnuts for me and
Belvita.
For Goldilocks.
Cinnamon and brown sugar.
Cinnamon and brown sugar. So while we're taking a break here, I thought maybe I'd take this opportunity to answer a viewer question regarding a video I posted last week, which was I talked about vlogging your thru hike. And so that prompted some questions from some people about how I learned to vlog or video my thru hike, who some of the people were that have influenced me. And I even had one troll woman say, Elena Osborne makes better videos than you. Yeah, I agree, she does. And for any of you who don't know who Elena Osborne is, she hiked the PCT last year in 2019, made great videos, but for one, she's a professional photographer, and for two, she didn't make her videos on the trail. She recorded all of her stuff, and then when she got back home after the trail, she sat down at her home computer and put out some really nice, polished, quality videos. So I'm making my videos in my tent at night at the end of the hiking day. So apples and oranges, Mrs. Troll. But as far as how did I learn how to do it? Honestly, I just sort of figured it out as I went along. My uncle Noel, who's watching this, hey Noel, and my brother Jim, also watching this, Jim. They're both highly accomplished amateur photographers, and they gave me some good tips on basic composition, lighting, shadows, just, basic photography techniques to give better quality images and videos as well. Now, as far as influences, there have been a lot of people that have influenced me, mostly other PCT hikers. I've been watching YouTube videos for 3 years now. And there were people that I liked over the years, and a guy named Chocolate Balls who hiked about 3 years ago, and the Whimsical Woman, everybody knows who she is. Dixie, of course. Dixie's kind of the standard that everybody measures themselves by, although Dixie doesn't do her own videos. She has a friend, a professional, who does all of her video production for her. So again, that's kind of an apples and oranges thing. If I had to pick one person, it would be a guy named IB Tat. IB Tat hiked the Appalachian Trail in 2018 and the Pacific Crest Trail last year in 2019. And I like his style of video. I've learned a lot from just watching his videos. I think he's got a good eye for composition, for videoing. And he's kind of taught me the importance of, well, not doing what I'm doing now, which is blabbering on endlessly. Generally, keep your selfie shots or discussions like this brief, but this isn't. Anyway, obviously didn't learn that lesson from him. But he does a lot of quick cuts, mixes his shots up a lot to keep them interesting. And he's got a great ear for music too. He really is able to use a wide variety of music to I think complement the video shots that he uses. And I'm trying to do that myself, probably not nearly as successfully as him, but if you're interested in watching someone who's a real master at making on-trail videos and who, like me, does all of his own video editing right on the spot in his tent, he's the guy to watch. Again, IB Tat, the name's right there. And I gotta give you one warning. The guy's he's got kind of a foul mouth, so if you're offended by swearing, but if you can kind of overlook that, then he's a great guy to learn from. So that's about it. Well, as so often happens on the trail here, we're just taking a break. We hadn't seen hardly a person all day long. And while we're eating our lunch, we had 4 hikers that came up walking past us. And let me introduce them from, well, I guess here we have Bear and Sassy, Bunny Tracks, and Easily Forgotten. Now, there's a story behind this, because as they came walking past us, I just kind of said, well, hey guys, enjoying your hike. But Easily Forgotten, contrary to his trail name, I saw him and I thought, that guy looks really familiar. So I asked him what his name was, and he told me, and I instantly remembered that we had watched their YouTube videos last year when they were hiking the PCT in the year of crazy ass snow. Yeah. So if any of you are interested, you can go back to 2019 and look up, what's the name of your channel?
For Love of Hiking.
For Love of Hiking, yeah. You can watch, they had a really entertaining channel last year, and definitely had far more challenges on their hike than we had this year with all the snow. So they're out here this year to try and make up for what they missed last year. Yep. So I wish them the best of luck, and it was really nice meeting you two. Nice meeting all 4 of you guys.
Yeah,
so,
nice meeting you.
And have a great hike.
You guys, we were watching your videos early on this year, and they were an inspiration for us to get back out and finish up the trail this year.
That makes me happy as hell. And the comments are open now, so go back and
make some comments.
And make some comments. So, okay, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, we're just about finished up with our lunch break, and lo and behold, another through hiker came by. He's actually a northbounder, and Rev, say hi to YouTube.
Hey, how you doing, man?
And I want to tell him he's got his own YouTube channel as well. Go ahead and tell everybody who that is.
Yes, I have a YouTube channel. It's called the Hiking Rev.
The Hiking Rev.
So check it out. Be sure and subscribe. And subscribe to this guy too if you haven't.
Hopefully you already are subscribed to me if you're watching my video.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I definitely wanted to highlight meeting Rev here was 5-6 days ago I made a video where I was contrasting the differences between backpackers and thru hikers, specifically focusing on their packs. And so when I saw Rev's pack, this guy, he has got the ultimate, this is the ultimate example of a thru hiker's backpack. Let me come back and look. Look at the size of that. They turn it sideways there. You can see. So look at that. I think
it's frameless. And,
I think my grandkids have bigger backpacks that they carry their school books in. So that's the most extreme example. He said his base weight's 9 pounds, and yet, you know, he's here. He's up in Oregon. He's carried that thing all the way from Mexico. So he's got it dialed in. This is the ultimate.
When you get as old as I am and your back is in bad shape as mine is, you got to get it down low.
Well, and he has done it, and I think I'm embarrassed to tell you what I'm carrying in mine, but believe me, it's nowhere near that. But anyway, good meeting you, Rev. So,
hey, nice to meet you.
Okay, we'll see you up the trail.
All righty.
All right, thanks. Feature some more of the berries that we're seeing here on the trail. These are these berries are called Oregon grape, appropriate since we're actually in Oregon right now. Which you see the leaves are sharply spiked, multi-lobed, and despite the name grape, they're not considered edible. So, which is unfortunate because they're everywhere, but I'm sure we'll find plenty more edible berries before we get off the trail. Okay, and here we have yet another example of an unintentionally ironic sign. No hunting, no trapping, no trespassing. Well, forget the hunting and trapping. Just say no trespassing. If you're not, they seem to imply that there's no trespassing, but if you do trespass, don't trap or hunt. I'm not sure what the message is here. So, seems redundant if nothing else. Hey, we're sitting up on a hillside right now taking a break, and down below us is Keene Creek Reservoir. And although you can't see it, Highway 66 goes kind of around it. The highway is kind of in the trees over there. So anyway, we have made sort of a on-the-spot decision that rather than hiking the remaining 5.5 miles to Hyatt Reservoir where we were planning to spend the night, we're going to get down here to Highway 66, which is less than a half mile away, and try to hitchhike down the road 2 miles to Green Springs, is that right? Green Springs Cafe? Green Springs Inn, I guess. According to Guthook, according to a number of Guthook comments, the best
Rev.
What?
And Rev.
Well, yeah, and Rev, who we ran into a little while ago. The best hamburgers on the PCT competing with the Paradise Cafe. So Paradise Cafe was pretty damn good, and that was 1,000 miles ago. So if I can find hamburgers that good up here, and I have the chance to eat them by just going 2 miles off trail, we're going to do it. Because otherwise, well, we're probably looking at another ramen bomb dinner tonight. So what do you think? Ramen bomb or... Yeah, I agree. Green Springs Cafe it is. sitting here at the Green Springs Cafe. Unlike our previous attempts at hitchhiking, I think it only took us, what, 10 minutes maybe? Maybe less than 10 minutes. So, turned out to be a good thing because the woman who picked us up said there's a huge thunderstorm on its way this evening. So, we're going to eat dinner here and then find a place out of the weather where we can set up our tent and ride out the night.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And they had all the old, they had
Mr. Roger.
You're gonna get hummingbird poop in your hamburger there. Well, we finished a pretty good dinner and dessert, and the skies were looking really dark and threatening. So, at the suggestion of the waitress, when we asked about a place where we could camp tonight, she just said, "Walk behind the restaurant a couple hundred yards and pitch it in the forest." So that's exactly what we did. There's nothing around us, and you would have no idea that there was a highway and a bunch of buildings just a couple hundred yards away, because right now we're in the middle of the forest and this is going to be our home for tonight. We are, however, a little bit concerned about our choice of a campsite because of things like this and this right here. To the untrained eye, it may not look like anything other than just some scuffed up earth, but to me in Goldilocks, it means there's been a bear in here rooting around looking for something to eat. So, and then we have this, a clear sign where this log had been turned over by some other animal looking for something underneath it. And of course you can see that this old stump here, and look where part of the stump has been torn away, laying on the ground. And you can see where there have been critters, worms or larvae, whatever, digging around in there. Anyway, that's what the bear was looking for. So he's been in here fairly recently. Hopefully he doesn't come around tonight looking for something to eat in our tent.